Hey everyone, this is the Bald Axel Level. Welcome. Today we're going to be playing some 1,000-year door courses that I made of Petal, Meadows, Chapter 1, stuff like that. And yeah, it's kind of for fun, yeah, just because it's one of the first, game recreations I did, and some of the stuff functions differently than the RPG because, this is remaking mainline platforming games, so yeah, it'll be a little different, but it's fine. It's like, it basically functions the same, so I'm not complaining. Anyway, with that said, let's just get into the first part of Chapter 1, Petal Meadows. Anyway, yeah, as you can see there's the blue pipe that you enter from Airport Sewers. There's some trees there. This is the place where you insert the Sun and Moon stones, and then you enter the pipe to Petal's Castle. And then you see there's some block with a mushroom, and it turns you into super form here. Unlike the original game where it goes into your items and even heals you, but like I said before, things function differently. And if you go in here, there's a little secret area with like the where you get the badge that you normally need troops for, but obviously since I can't really, since Koopa Troopas don't like go over cliffs in this game, I can't really do anything about that. But yeah, so I just made it like a pipe that you enter there, which is how it works in the original game, but yeah, here I just made it more accessible because you can't send Koopa Troopas flying off cliffs and expect them to go over cliffs. So yeah. Anyway, here, these little spin blocks are meant to represent the bush that you need to, inspect in order to go into the background. And as you can see here, it's just a normal sub area. And there's a bridge, and there's like a little bridge of inactive P blocks, and so yeah, this is the P switch for the bridge. But you'll see there's a wall of hard blocks there. You're like, what's that? So if you kick the ball on there, it'll explode the wall, and it'll tear down that wall, and then you go down here, 10 point representing the star piece, so you can only get by walking over there. Anyway, oopsies. Anyway, the sequel. Yeah, just press this P switch, and we exit from the pipe, walk over the bridge of now active P blocks before they run out, and get the fire flower, and get the roll. Go to Caliber. And the reason you can actually like make that jump across the gap of inactive P blocks, but that's not how it works in game, and so it's not how I intend you to do it. But you can, I can't even upload these, but like if I did, yeah, that's not how I would intend you to do it. Anyway, moving on to part 2, Petalburg and Schwalk Fortress 1, and the reason it's Schwalk Fortress 1 is because the space wasn't, the level space wasn't long enough for me to include all of the path to Schwalk Fortress and then Schwalk Fortress itself, which I was originally planning on doing because Petalburg took up too much space, so I just split Schwalk Fortress up into 2 sections. This is Schwalk Fortress 1. Anyway, let's just get into it. Starting off here, you can see a little inn, and if you go inside, you'll see there's a 1-up waiting for you. And the little hard blocks down there are supposed to represent water. And the reason why they're hard blocks is to stop the screen from scrolling down too much so you can see this area because it's on top. I kind of ruined the immersion, but anyway, going to the item shop, which you're going to want to go into to get the intended way to defeat the boss coming up ahead. Again, you can do it the unintended way, but if this was like an actual, if I could actually upload this, I'd want you to do it the intended way, but you can do it the unintended way. Anyway, Moving on, this is general white. And the reason why some of the houses aren't enterable is because I can only have like 4 sets of doors, and some doors I need for later, so yeah. Taking this pebble block over here, you can see the Battle Master as a 1-up mushroom, which is kind of funny. And you might be wondering, what are these lifts for? And I'm just using the Joker method of connecting screens, like the normal areas in game, by using lifts, because they actually look really similar to the, little pathways leading from area to area in the actual RPG, so yeah. Anyway, moving on, here's the Path Strong Fortress with fencing, trees, all that jazz. Koopa Troopa. Normally there'd be a bush here, but I didn't really know how to recreate that, so yeah. Here's some of the ruins leading up to Strong Fortress, and then Spiked Koopa there. And here's the boss, which is just a bunch of buzzy beetles. And yeah, the unintended way is just to, send this one shell like flying at the other, but where's the fun in that? Anyway, moving on. Locking that door, that's the end of the level, because level space, unfortunately, can only handle so much, so I split this up in 2 parts like I talked about before. Anyway, that's the level. Oopsies. That's the level. And with that said, I hope to see you all in the next video.